welcome back to another episode of the Football Huddle. I'm here with myself, Daryl Felker.
Zach Wade.
Jake Palumbo.
And yeah, we're just going to recap the past week happenings of college football and the NFL. So we're going to hop right into it, starting with college football as we always do. And where you guys want to start at?
I guess we'll start with some LSU football.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, we'll start there. I mean, it was a tough game as an LSU fan. Felt like we had it all the way up until
The second
half.
Yeah.
I mean, first half was super dominant. We had some mishaps with the special teams, but it felt like the game was in our hands.
Yeah, 100%. And then, I mean, leaving 9 points on the board really doesn't help. And then just bad decision making, really.
Yeah. And, I mean, it was going to be a tough matchup. It was against Texas A&M.
At Texas A&M, too.
Yeah, so, I mean.
And that 12th man ain't no joke.
Yeah, like, if you leave any kind of hope for those fans to hold on to, it's just going to ignite the team. And, yeah, I mean, that's backup quarterback, Marcel Reed. He came in, and he was the spark that they needed, honestly.
He's the one, he really turned it around for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even call him a quarterback.
Yeah.
He was more of a running
He
back.
threw the ball twice.
Yeah, he had 2 completions for like 70, 80 yards. But, I mean, besides that, he didn't throw the ball. That kind of changed the whole offensive look, and it was something that LSU wasn't ready for at all. And, yeah, we also had a lot of turnovers in the second half. And, yeah, I mean, it was everything combined. It just, it didn't end out the way that LSU fans
It was supposed to. It didn't end out how it was supposed to.
Exactly. So.
And then you have a funny opportunity for a chance that you get a rematch in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
If the circumstances had to happen.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely need some things to line up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ole Miss won. Unfortunate, but.
Yeah. I remember. I was watching the game. I mean, it actually was a lot closer of a game. Than I thought it was going to be. But you called it. You said that they might struggle a little bit, but yeah, they definitely were able to pull it out in the end.
Which is so just messed up. Why just lose?
Yeah.
Just lose. No one wants you to win.
Alabama, they had a really good one. I think you've been saying it all. One of you's been saying it all season. How Missouri's kind of.
Yeah, I've been saying Missouri's not good.
Yeah, fluky, and
it did help. Brady Cook did get hurt, I think.
Yeah,
really.
But that was a real dominant. I didn't expect it to be that of a dominant performance from them, but it was all Alabama all game.
Yeah, 34-0, no doubt. I mean, that was a really, really good win for Bama.
Yeah, and then Boise still doing Boise things.
I mean, this is probably one of Ashton Genty's worst games, even though he did put up 100 yards and a touchdown, but on like 33 rushing attempts. I mean.
Yeah, it definitely was one of his, quote-unquote, worst performances of the season. But like you said, he had the touchdown. The touchdown actually came in the fourth quarter to put them ahead and give them the win. So, I mean, he still impacted the game in a way that a Heisman would. So, I don't think this performance really takes away from his run.
Yeah.
And, Texas, they had a big bounce-back game after the UGA loss. It was a away game against Vanderbilt.
I mean, I wouldn't even really say a bounce-back game.
It was close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's either Texas really isn't that good or Vandy, I mean.
It's sneakily really good.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be a tough game. Vanderbilt was ranked for the first time. And
I still think they should be ranked.
I mean, that was the number 5 team in the nation. They lost by 3 points, and it was a really close game.
Yeah.
So I mean, So I think I'm glad Texas was able to survive against Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think that UGA game kind of shook them up a little bit, made them question a few things. But they ended up getting the win.
I mean, a lot of top teams barely squeaked away with the win. I mean, Ohio barely beat Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Kansas and Kansas State. That was a 3-point game.
That's always a good rivalry.
Yeah, Sunflower Showdown.
SMU and Duke. I mean, there was a lot of close games this past week.
Yeah. One game that wasn't close was Notre Dame and Navy. Navy was ranked 24.
Notre Dame just un-American.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, they.
I mean, Army's still undefeated.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
you still have the hopes of the Army Navy game happening twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be something. But I thought Navy would put up a little bit more of a fight.
Yeah, I definitely did. But Notre Dame, they showed up and showed out. I mean, yeah.
I mean this upcoming week. I mean, you got Ole Miss and Arkansas, Ohio State and Penn State.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest game.
Then you have the world's largest cocktail hour, I think. Cocktail party, Florida and Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Georgia should just do.
Yeah, I don't think it's not going to be a big game, but it's still something.
Yeah, it's like, history of it. But, this year, Florida's not looking too good. Georgia's got things back rolling. I don't think that's going to be any issue for them.
I mean, you got Texas A&M at South Carolina.
I think that could be a little trap game for A&M, especially off a big win, or a big comeback win against LSU.
Yeah.
And especially with South Carolina's defense being how athletic and fast they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could definitely wreak havoc on A&M.
Yeah.
It's just going to be how Lenore Sellers and that offense plays against that A&M defense.
Yeah, because, I mean, I definitely think that South Carolina defense, they're definitely – and they watched LSU's game this past weekend just like everyone else did. So they see, Marcel Reed, okay, we have to find a game plan to shut him down. And with that defensive line, I mean, we saw it against in the LSU game, how much that defensive line can impact the game. So I think definitely they're going to game plan for him this week. And I'm excited for that game. I definitely think it could be a trap game, like you said, coming off of a big win as well. So
I think if you're an LSU fan, you want A&M to lose, especially since you do have the win over South Carolina.
I mean, especially since South Carolina's only a few points away from being a 7-1, 6-1 team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're really not that bad of a team.
Yeah, they're not a bad team at all. Yeah. But I mean, besides that, it's not really.
I mean, you got Pittsburgh and SMU, 18-20. I mean, but other than that, I think that's the only
Yeah, Pitt's still undefeated. Former Zachary High School alum, Eli.
The quarterback.
Yeah, the quarterback for Pitt.
Yeah.
Zachary just up the road from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Yep, they've been doing good things. They're still undefeated, 7-0 on the year.
I feel like Duke and Miami might be a good one, 6-2 versus 8 now.
Yeah, because Duke upset it. Who was it 2 weeks ago that they upset? That was the first time they ever beat. Was it Florida State that they beat?
Yeah, it was Florida State, 23-6, and then they didn't beat.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State is Florida State, but at the same time, that's a big win for Duke.
Duke is Duke.
Yeah, Duke is basketball school.
I mean,
exactly.
So.
I also think this Oregon and Michigan game might be good. I don't know. I mean, I feel like since it's
Well, I know I heard that Michigan's starting a walk-on quarterback this week. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they're sending him straight into the fire against Oregon because they had the scare earlier in the season with Boise State, but since then, I think that was kind of like a baby wake-up call for them, and they still haven't had. Well, I mean, the Ohio State game, that was.
I mean, that was really a coin toss game. I mean,
either
side could have won that.
Mm-hmm. But they were able to pull it out, and I mean, since then they've just been rolling, and I mean, they're looking hot right now. So
I mean, Miami looked really good for the first time, on both sides of the ball against Florida State. But I mean, Florida State just hasn't looked good whatsoever this year. So I mean.
Yeah, Florida State's kind of making everybody look good this year. So, but, I mean, like you said, Miami still definitely look good on both sides. So, I definitely think, just moving forward, I think those are probably some of the top teams, that still haven't lost.
Yeah, but definitely not a super big. I mean, obviously, if you're a Big Ten fan, you got the biggest game probably of the year for at least old Big Ten. I mean, now you got Oregon and all them in there, but.
Yeah.
You got the OGs, Penn State versus Ohio State.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's at Penn State.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at Penn State.
So I mean, that place is always gonna be rocking, especially
whiteout vibes. So I mean, I wish it was a night game.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about it is at 12 o'clock.
Yep, 12. Yep, 12 on Saturday. So.
Big noon kickoff, man.
Yeah. But who y'all going with in that game? Ohio State or Penn State. I mean, they're number 3 and number 4. So
I mean, it's always just proven to me Ohio State will always be the big brother to Penn State.
Well, see, me personally, I used to have a teacher back in high school that was a big Ohio State fan, and he really made me dislike Ohio State, so I'm going to have to go Penn State.
You gonna go with Penn State?
Got to.
James Franklin just can't prove to me that he can win against Ohio State or really Michigan.
But but you also got to think they're playing at Penn State.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, that crowd is gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be a really big game.
I mean, is it a white game? Is it a whiteout game?
I don't know if it's whiteout.
If it's a whiteout,
I mean, I can't think of any other game this season for Penn State that would be a better.
if they do a whiteout game, I got Penn State all day.
Yeah.
Penn State all day.
Ohio State has been. I mean, both teams have been rolling. I mean, Ohio State, their only loss was to Oregon, which was, like you said, was a
very
coin
close
flip
one
game.
too.
And I think this game could kind of be the same way. I mean, I think whoever makes the fewer mistakes, just capitalizes more, I think they come out with the win. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's really it for college football.
Yeah. I mean, if Ohio State can get the crowd out of the game fast, then I think that's the only way they can. But if they let the crowd stay in it.
Yep. Just like that LSU and Texas A&M game. Yep. Yeah, but
I guess we'll move on to the NFL now, or anything else anyone wants to add about college?
No, yeah, we can. We can go ahead and move to NFL.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about the Saints. There's no need to.
Yeah.
Chargers beat them.
Chargers beat them pretty bad.
Ladd McConkey showed off. I think he had 100-some yards and 2 touchdowns against the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean,
some good signs from the rookie.
Yeah. Well, who dat? I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
Joe Burrow just can't seem to get anything going with his team.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's more on the defense than Joe Burrow, but I mean, Joe Burrow did.
No, I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying
he
can't get his team going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us expected this from the Bengals, but I mean, the Eagles, they did look really good this past weekend. So I mean,
yeah, Cooper Jean got put into. He was getting into some actual cornerback positions. I mean, he looked real good. He had a big 4th down stop, tackle on Jamar Chase to basically stop the momentum for the Bengals.
Yeah. Drake May, he led the Patriots to a win over the Jets.
Well, he got hurt early in the first half with a concussion.
So who came in for him?
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, okay. And he finished the game off. 15 for 24. They pulled the game out though. They scored a touchdown with 22 seconds left to take the lead and get the win. I mean,
the Jets have just been a disappointment this year.
I feel like it's the same for both teams in that stadium. They're both terrible.
Yeah.
Both the New York teams.
Yeah, but at least the Giants have some sort of young talent on their team.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, they have a future to look towards.
Yeah.
But the Jets,
Jets
they just signed
away their future.
Devontae.
Just win now, and I mean they can't win now.
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to do what a Rams did and buy a Super Bowl, sort of, get a good team one year and get a Super Bowl real quick.
But yeah, I mean,
but it doesn't seem like it's really working. And I said last time, I don't think Devontae Adams is the answer to the Jets. I just don't think that.
The Chiefs squeaked one out against the Raiders.
They did.
Yeah. Squeaked one out. Yeah.
Talking about squeaking one out, what about the Commanders? That was.
I mean, that just proves to you who's rookie of the year so far.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was insane.
And I mean, Caleb Williams did not play good whatsoever, and especially on a defense that's not known to really be good in the back in the DB area.
And then you have that number 29, coming in.
Oh yeah, Tyreek Stevenson from Miami.
Yeah,
he's the one that ended up
looking at the crowd when the play was going on.
And it was so funny because he's the one that ended up tipping it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the coaching was gonna give the Commanders coaching was gonna give the Bears the game actually, because it was the Commanders had a 4th and inches on their own side of the field, but it was probably 2 or 3 minutes left, and they decided to punt it instead of going for it. And in my head, I was like, I would go for it, have the short field, and then if they score a touchdown like they ended up doing, you would still have about 2 minutes. You would have some time for your offense. Yeah. But they punted it away. The Bears walked back down the field like the offense had kind of been doing all game. and they scored with little to no time left, and just off of a miracle, Jaden Daniels was able to make it happen. But I mean, yeah, that was really a game that the Bears should have won.
Yeah. I mean, Monday we learned that 2 foots don't make 2 feet.
Yeah, 2 feet, 2 foots don't make 2 feet. That's.
Yeah.
I think that should have been a catch. Then we had Anthony Richardson tap out.
Oh
Yeah. I mean, that just shows to you why you don't draft a kid that's only played 13 college games with the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, and it's like it's. I hate to see it because it's like his raw talent. Like
he's an amazing talent. It's
it's just
he doesn't want to put forth the effort.
I wouldn't say effort. I think he's just going off of his talent, which sucks because I mean you've seen in the past couple of years all these like young quarterbacks that like haven't panned out, like Zach Wilson, Bryce Young. I mean now Anthony Richardson all getting benched, and it's like I think it was like 10 players under like 25 that are all QBs that got benched. And I'm like, I think maybe the NFL has a QB rookie, like a young QB problem or something like that.
yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like not a whole bunch of these QBs are panning out.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily this draft class has been looking good. Bo Nix put up obviously a dominant performance against the Panthers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just about to say. I mean, this class truly looks like one of the most complete all around.
Yeah, it's hard to tell right now, especially for Drake May, since he's only really played one full game and then a little bit of.
It just feels like the NFL is missing like these like franchise type players, like because like we at least have like Drew Brees, Tom Brady, all those big like those quarterbacks you knew that were going to stay.
Well,
now
at
it
least
seems like there's a rotation.
At least for the AFC has a whole bunch of those type of quarterbacks. The NFC does not really. I mean,
the closest one you got like Patrick Mahomes and what's his name?
You got Lamar. You got
Lamar.
You got Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, Joe Burrow,
Justin Herbert, and Bills.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. I don't know why.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, everybody's in the AFC.
Yeah, and those are all like franchise type quarterbacks. The NFC seems like
NFC. You got Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to say Dak up in that conversation.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, you don't really have like your you feel good quarterback like it used to be.
Yeah, you don't have any staples. Really.
Yeah, where it's like, we'll be good for a few years with him under center. So it's like, I mean, the Seahawks, they had that's my team, but they had an embarrassing game against the Bills. They came into Seattle, dominated us, 31-10. I mean, it wasn't a good game at all. And I'm as much of a Geno fan as anyone, but like I just said, like when we talk about franchise quarterbacks, I don't necessarily see Geno being that.
I think he's a good mid quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying mid as like a bad thing, but I mean he's like middle of the pack.
Yeah, like a mid-tier quarterback. I mean, he's not exceptional like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, but he's not on the lower tier either like some of these other guys. So
I mean, I think now too. I mean, the NFC's wide open for the Falcons to really just strive in it. I mean, Saints are dumpster fired. The Panthers just trade away. I mean, you can argue their wide receiver wanted Deontay Johnson to the Ravens.
I mean, the Lions. I think right now the Lions look like the best team.
I mean, they put a dominant performance. I think at 52-14.
Yeah, I mean that's
against the Titans.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I mean, it's the Titans.
Everybody feasted on the Lions' offense and even special teams. Khalif Raymond got I think 2 touchdowns, 1 special teams, and then 1 just kick.
He had 1 90-yard punt return, and then he had a touchdown pass. Yeah. So, I mean, they're clicking. Jared Goff still.
Amon-Ra got a passing touchdown.
I mean,
not Amon-Ra. David Montgomery got a passing touchdown.
Yeah.
He passed for a touchdown.
Yeah, going back to college, actually, did y'all see the Miami's Philly special where Cam Ward got the touchdown? Yeah, that was a pretty cool play, too. But, the Lions, they definitely just they're looking like the number 1 team to me right now.
The Vikings are kind of putting themselves sort of in a win now situation. They just traded for the left tackle from the Jaguars, Cam Robinson, to replace Christian Darrisaw after tearing his ACL and MCL. So I mean,
So what y'all think about Jameis? He got the win.
He did.
I'm happy for him. Anything Jameis does is I'm a fan of. Anything.
Yeah, Jameis is. obviously, as a Saints fan, I had to hate him as a Buccaneer, but I mean, he is just a ball of energy.
It's just any clip you see, you just like
It's contagious.
You can't help but love the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help but like root for him to do good.
Yeah, because, I mean, I love the Ravens. I love Lamar. But for some reason, I'm watching the game. I'm like, I wouldn't mind Jameis winning. Just snapping the win streak, just him bringing something new to Cleveland.
I mean, that's what he's going to do. I mean, he's going to throw the ball. He's going to.
Regardless of if you're open or not, he's going to throw it.
He definitely threw it. I mean, 27 for 41, 334 yards, and 3 touchdowns. No interceptions. I mean, that was a really good game from Jameis against a really good opponent as well. So,
I mean, the Ravens were definitely playing without a whole bunch of their DBs. I think Marlon Humphreys and both Nate Wiggins were both out that game. So, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, So, I mean, we can't jump the gun and say, he's going to turn the season around for the Browns. But, I mean, I definitely do think.
One week at a time.
They got to win. I mean, and that's something that they've been struggling to get. So
I'm sure they already like him better than they liked
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about how the AFC North is Steelers
country.
Steelers country, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they only have 2 losses on the season.
Yeah.
I mean, just not what you've expected from any of the other 3 teams in that division.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought the Steelers would have been in the bottom of that division.
But moving on to next week, you got the Saints at the Panthers. I think the Saints will lose. I don't know about y'all, but I just see us losing.
I mean, it's just something I'm not going to stress about or worry about. Because,
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly, probably not.
I'm already taking my heart away from the Saints from this season. I get to stress about the Pelicans play. So
Yeah.
I just feel like things haven't been the same for the Saints since 2018. Ever since that one no call, I feel like.
I mean, we could speak about a no call that happened in the Vikings.
Yeah,
the Vikings Rams game on Thursday. The phantom no call on a face mask that basically sealed the game. For the Vikings.
And then I also heard that the Bears submitted some information to redo the last play of the game because there was obvious holding on it, but
I mean, yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean,
if the Saints didn't get their thing turned over, that ain't gonna happen for a regular season game.
I mean, since I was born, I've never seen a play where I've been more confused than the Saints and the Rams.
Yeah, no, that was.
It was the most blatant.
He didn't
penalty.
even turn and say. He just said, "I'm just gonna hit you."
Laid him out, and
he even looked.
He even looked at the ref for a second. It was like.
Yeah, I mean.
But.
Yeah, I hate to bring up the bad memories for all the Saints fans out there, but I mean,
Minnesota Miracle, and you had that happen, and you have another Minnesota Miracle that happened in the Superdome.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough go.
Yeah, but I know.
And now we can't even get any miracles together.
I'm trying to think, who plays Thursday night?
The
Texans
and Jets.
Yeah,
I mean. I want the Texans to win, but I feel like this could be a game for the Jets to possibly sneak away a win.
It's in New York as well.
It's in New York.
I mean, I definitely think the Jets need a win.
I just think the Jets are a complete dumpster fire right now. I don't see them doing anything.
The crazy thing is though, any Sunday you can show up and
that is true.
That's the one thing about the NFL. You can be the biggest underdogs. I mean. You're still the best of the best players.
Yeah, it's still an NFL roster, so it's like, I mean, who can win the most reps throughout the game? I think the biggest game is going to be the Lions and the Packers this weekend.
Forgot to bring up Stephon Diggs unfortunately tore his ACL.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy.
So I mean, now the Texans, especially with Nico Collins being out with his hamstring, I mean, the star really has to be either Tank Dell.
Yeah.
I mean, he popped off last week when that happened.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, I mean, they lost their top 2 targets already, and we're only not even. I don't think we're even halfway through the season yet. So it's like, how far can Tank Dell and the wide receiver 4 and 5 really take them?
I didn't get to watch the Chiefs game, but I know they got DeAndre Hopkins in a trade. And I mean, Andy Reid did say he played. I didn't check the stat line for that, but I'm assuming he got minimal snaps. And I mean, probably this Sunday.
It's gonna be like his first real.
Yeah, it's gonna be his first real.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. DeAndre Hopkins, he had 2 catches for 29 yards, 3 targets. So, I mean, yeah, he probably got a few snaps.
I mean,
in
it's
just
definitely trying to
reps.
get you got to start getting a connection with the quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, when you have Mahomes under center, he can build connections very fast. I mean, he just kind of has that ability to connect with his receivers.
Yeah.
Like Worthy, I mean, they've been making him look really good, and a lot of people were questioning how good was he actually going to be able to.
I mean, Jacksonville's in a bad place right now. They lost Christian Kirk for the season with I forget what happened to him. I think fractured collarbone. And then Brian Thomas, he's probably out with some sort of chest pain or some chest injury.
Yeah.
And then obviously they just traded away their left tackle. So I mean, Trevor Lawrence definitely isn't
Yeah.
going to be in the best situation.
Yeah, the injuries are adding up.
But they did say Trevor Etienne should be coming back off his hamstring injury pretty soon.
I mean, yeah. I mean, last week, you know, Tank Bigsby, he filled in the role well. So I mean, it's definitely gonna be nice to have Etienne back, but I don't think it's gonna be like, you know, a huge like.
But definitely that NFC North, that's a very fun division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody's pretty good besides the Bears.
Yeah, and even the Bears. I mean
even the
they
Bears
have a rookie quarterback,
yeah.
so they're figuring things out on the fly. Because I mean, that game against the Commanders last week, it was a game that, like, I honestly do feel like they should have won. Besides the Hail Mary. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams didn't have he did not have a good performance. I mean, I think he only had like 11 to like 15 completions for like 118 yards or something like that, and no touchdowns. So, I mean, he kind of got carried by the run game a little bit and
Yeah.
the defense.
Yeah, because DeAndre Swift, he actually had one of his probably best games of the season so far. So I think it's just, you know, figuring out the balance, still figuring out the NFL. But I like the direction that all the rookie QBs are heading in, really. I'm excited to see what they can do over this season and as they develop more and more over the next few years. So, yeah. So, I mean, not really too many big time matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, getting to the point to where we could possibly start projecting where some of these teams are going to be in the draft class. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of these. I mean, it's going to be a lot of NFC and like the really low, like the Raiders and all that in the AFC and the top 10. And I mean, really, this draft class. I kind of heard Mel Kiper talk about it after like the 15th best player or whatever. It really drops off from
Big
there.
drop off, yeah.
So I mean, you really, in my opinion, you really don't have that. You don't really have a definitive one or definitive like quarterback in this. I mean, you can say Shadur.
Yeah, or Cam Ward. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's not really like solidified yet. So
I mean, none of them have really just came off the paper and be like, wow, this guy's a franchise mover. But
yeah, but like you said, it is kind of time to start looking forward for some teams. So, because like you said, I mean, basically the first half of the first round is going to be, those really star players. But after that, it's going to be a big drop off. So, like, if you're Jacksonville, who's 2-6 on the season so far, kind of already have lost your main players, it's like, how much do we really want to try to win out?
I mean, obviously
you're
your team and you always want to try and win, but I mean, at some point you just get outskilled. But I mean, them trading away their left tackle probably shows that they're probably going to go into the draft with the mindset of drafting possibly like a Will Campbell or one of the tackles from Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kelvin Banks. Yeah, I definitely think some of these teams that are struggling, like the Panthers, of course. I mean, it feels like it's a year after year, but I mean, you can't pass up really elite talent in those first 10, 15 picks because you want to try to win a few games when you know the playoffs and even a Super Bowl is not attainable right now. So, so I definitely think it's going to be interesting to see just what a lot of these teams do over the next few weeks.
Yeah, not the most entertaining week of
Football. I don't think so.
I feel just like a whole bunch of injuries and like some minor trades.
Yeah. But yeah, so looking forward as like a LSU fan, I mean, we can say all we need to do is win out and we'll be good. But I mean, that doesn't even guarantee anything, just how things can play out. So we're going to need some other things to happen. But we just have to focus on every game in front of us.
but if you're LSU, you're definitely in a favorable position.
Yeah.
Because if you beat Bama, you have the win over Georgia. Technically, the win over Georgia since Bama beat Georgia.
I mean, you never know. This could be another 2007 season where just everything that needs to happen happens.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Chris Hilton, he looked actually really, really good. I mean, he didn't make the plays sometimes, but he was in position to make the play.
I think Nussmeier. I think this is his first game of showing that hey, this is his first season starting.
Yeah.
Making dumb moves trying
just
to forcing
it. Yeah, just
Which that's you're gonna live and die by a gunslinger, but I think sometimes he just needs to pull it down and just take the couple yards.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I haven't seen from him really this season.
He did do it at the end of the second half to convert for a first down.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I just want to see a little bit more.
Just
because once all those DBs turn their heads,
because he's very good. He's very elusive in the pocket. I mean, he's very good at slip sliding and going.
Yeah, but
he needs to be able to slip slide and go.
Yeah, having the decisiveness to say, okay, let's give up on the reach downfield. Let me just take off, get 3-5 yards.
5 yards.
Set us up in a better position.
Teams aren't going to respect him running.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he starts running, that might mean one of those linebackers has to come drop down.
Spy or even just on the read options. They're overcommitting to the running back every time because they just know he will not pull it. So, I mean, just adding a little bit more diversity, switching up the run calls. I think we're still in a good spot, like y'all said. I think we just have to focus, and now we know, the pressure is on for us now. I mean, that was our game to win, and we lost it. So now I don't think that's going to happen again. Mm-hmm. I think if we're in that position, we're going to solidify it and pull it out. And
especially with this defense that we've seen over the season. I mean, they're definitely a different team, or a different side of the ball than last year.
Yeah, because I mean, the second half performance, you can say whatever. Yeah, I mean, he came in, he sliced us up. But in the first half against the starting QB, who we had game plan for, we looked really good.
I think if you game plan for one QB and then someone comes else in, I mean, obviously it's proven that most people. Kind of like how when Nuss came in 2 years ago versus Georgia in the SEC playoff, and kind of gave LSU a little bit of hope against Georgia. And then
because I mean we were down, I was at that game actually. We were down multiple scores, and he came in and he didn't come back and win the game, but I mean he did come in and provide just that little bit of spark because it was a play style change. Instead of Jaden Daniels running and option, it was gunslinging from Nuss. So yeah, I definitely. Still rocking hard. Go Tigers! But I'm excited for next week's game. Yeah. I'm glad we get a bye before the Bama game,
especially to recover from any sort of injury they have from that game.
Yeah,
and then just emotional tear from that game too.
Yeah, just calming back down.
Especially for Nussmeier, especially after having probably his worst game of the season.
Yeah, and then the fans were online slandering him. The athletes see stuff like that. But I hope you can just take that. Channel it into I'm just gonna show them next game
and especially you're gonna be in Death Valley at night against the Bama team that has shown a lot of weaknesses this season.
It's questionable. I mean it's Bama, and I mean they can win, but this isn't the same Bama team that we've seen in previous years. So
who would have thought that LSU and Alabama are possibly both not in playoff contention?
I mean, one of us basically has to go. Whoever loses this game basically is out. So it's crazy time, but I mean, I feel like it's no better place to be for this game than in Death Valley.
And that's what I kind of like about this new college football playoff style. It's
you have the room to drop those big games because USC, they were number 11 at the time, and Texas A&M, they were ranked at the time too, a really good team. Going against them on the road, I mean those are two losses that can't really hold too much against LSU to say they're not a playoff team. So I definitely think I think this is a big game though next week for us.
I know Death Valley definitely going to be rocking that night. I'm going to personally be there in the student section, probably very close to the front.
I'll be there too.
It's definitely
probably another field storm in the field because obviously it's just Alabama, LSU. Even though it really shouldn't because of where both the teams are, but it's just historical.
Yeah, it's just the, like you said, just the atmosphere in the stadium. I think it's gonna be even crazier than the Ole Miss game was. And I mean, yeah, I think it's gonna.
Yeah,
be,
especially with how close it is between the two teams and the circumstances.
Yeah, just how everything's lining up.
Yeah.
Like we said, like this is win or go home for both of them. So I definitely think their side's gonna come out. They're gonna try to pack as many stands as they can into the stadium. But yeah, I already know the Tiger fans, they're gonna come through and show out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think we got it all.
So I mean, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out gridironfootballusa.com. We all are, writers. We cover high school games, do interviews with athletes across the nation. So be sure to check us out there. And unless y'all have anything.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Have a good one.